Hello, guys, and welcome back to Between the Ropes TV. Now, it's been a busy weekend in boxing. As you can hear, my throat's not great. We did our live watch along with Katie Taylor's card and win last night. But I thought I'd just jump on and give a little reaction to Jake Paul and Anderson Silva. For those that don't know, Jake Paul has won via unanimous decision with scorecards 77-74 and 78-73 twice. Now, the bout obviously went its full 8 rounds, and Jake Paul did knock down Anderson Silva in the latter rounds. But for me, it just begs the question, a lot of talk on social media about Jake Paul fights being rigged. And I don't know. I just think, the Anderson Silva that we had seen in a boxing ring so far would have done more for me personally. I'm not suggesting the fights are rigged, but a little bit disappointing with it. But credit to Jake Paul, on paper, he moved to 6-0 now, but he hasn't fought anybody who is an actual professional boxer. That's what he's got to do next. I mean, post-fight, he called out Nate Diaz, which, Nate Diaz, from, I've got limited knowledge, as we've said on this channel. We're a boxing channel predominantly, but he's an MMA legend again in the UFC. I think he's had like 25 odd UFC fights. But he's lost. He's taken some beatings. Obviously, you look around online, his face is usually covered in blood. Hear him speak. You can tell the man's been in some wars, definitely. Slurs a little bit. But he's going to want to get paid. But I just think now, Jake Paul at 6-0, he's got nothing to gain from beating more ex-MMA people, particularly people that are older and past it. If he could convince like someone who's in their prime, a current champion or something, to box, which will never happen, but then potentially, you could respect that a little bit more. But I just think now at 6-0, if Jake Paul's serious and he talks about Canelo and all these other sort of outlandish claims, he's got to box a boxer. And that brings me back round to Tommy Fury. I can't believe we're still talking about this fight and it's not happened. But it's a 50-50 fight, as whether boxing fans want to wear that or not. If we're honest with ourselves, both limited amateur experience. Okay, yeah, Tommy Fury with his family would have been around boxing his whole life. But in fairness to Jake Paul, you can see improvements in his work. He's got the resources, so he's invested in himself. He's done the training, he's developed. But they've both had such short pro careers that for me, it is a 50-50 fight. And, I'll be honest, after some of Tommy Fury's recent performances, I know he's back out in a couple of weeks, and that'll hopefully give us a good sort of gauge on how good he now is, because he's not boxed very often. And, for someone such a novice, they need to be boxing more regularly. But Jake Paul also doesn't box so too regularly, with him being the pay-per-view star, allegedly, that he is, and that pains me to say it. Then, he's not going to box every couple of months, is he? He boxed 3 times last year, and obviously he's now been back out last night. So I think that's the fight for him. I think it's a good 50-50, and that's what he should be aiming for me. Whether it could go on an undercard of a Tyson Fury fight, I don't know. You'd imagine that would sell during fight week, wouldn't it? Because the sort of insults and banter would be flying both sides of the table. So if Frank Warren and Top Rank wanted to try and do something with Showtime, that would work. That would work a treat for me. But yeah, I mean, guys, let us know in the comment section what you guys think on this win for Jake Paul, because there's a lot of negative talk on social media. I'm not a fan of it myself. This YouTube boxing, it's great to an extent, and people get paid, but my worry is you don't play boxing, and someone is going to get hurt one day. On a couple of these DAZN cards that we've seen recently on these misfit shows, people are taking shots flush, and I'm not a fan of it. And potentially that doesn't apply to Jake Paul, because he's gone and you can see he's trained and he is improving slowly. But I'm not a fan of it. I worry about people. You just don't play boxing, simple as that. And also, people talk about the fresh eyes it brings. They don't stay for proper traditional boxing where it's elite level people. They tune in potentially for an Anthony Joshua fight, a Tyson Fury fight, maybe a Shields Marshall, or even a Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. But they're not sticking around for every show. So I'm not a fan of it, and it needs to stop. I am just going to have a quick little dig at my co-host. So obviously we all go against each other with predictions. I was right here. I said Jake Paul on points. Yas thought Jake Paul would get the stoppage. And Ray, he's just lost his head and gone completely rogue. He thought Anderson Silva would win. So, yeah, those pair are a pair of chumps. But, guys, let us know in the comment section what you think. And, yeah, join us tomorrow night at 8:45 for our live where we'll be reacting to the rest of this weekend's boxing.